You know, sex trafficking is forced commercial sex. Force, fraud, or coercion have been used to actually induce them into that commercial sex act. If you're under 18, the law does not even require that you have to show there was force, fraud, or coercion. It's just enough to show that it's a minor, they've been induced to engage in commercial sex. By definition, that's sex trafficking as well.
Well, what I see is I see a lot of misunderstanding as to what human trafficking is, and one, especially with the demand side of it. The Johns that I talk to, like I said, they really do not understand what is going on out there. They don't understand that some of these people are in this place due to addiction. While we're trying to help this woman get off the street and get her life back together, they're feeding right into that.
We go in the mall, we see a girl in the food court. From years of doing it, I can look in at a table of young white girls, talk to them. That one that's interested, maybe take her to get her nails done. She's on the corner that night.
We've had them approach over social networking sites as well, approaching people to recruit. We've had them at bus stops. Really, there's any location that you can name.
We have to look at the individual girl. This could be anyone's daughter or granddaughter or neighbor.
That's the common misconception, that it's an inner city thing. Their father could be a doctor or lawyer and very close-knit. All they want to do is have some fun. If I become the fun that they have, that's what happens.
The first 3 girls we had, I took her to a local middle school to enroll them into school, and the one little girl pulled me aside and said, "Sally, I just saw 10 girls in this school that are in my trafficking ring."
We had one that was recently, she was recruited at McDonald's. She was in line at McDonald's, as well as other locations that you would never ever think that it would happen.
It's right here in our own backyards. It's been here in Tallahassee. We had Colombian organized crime that ran a sex trafficking ring right here in our quiet capital city a couple years ago.
It's everywhere. Don't think that it's not in your community. Wherever there's a city, you're gonna have it. You know, just like every city has prostitution. You talk to any law enforcement officer out there in the state of Florida, yeah, we have issues with prostitution. Well, where you have prostitution, you're gonna have sex trafficking. It's just a matter of to what degree.
So if you see a prostitute walking the track on the street and she's 20 years old, you might think, well, she's made that choice, but when did she get started? How did she get started?
I mean, it's a striking statistic that about 95% of the women that are engaged in commercial sex would like not to be. And it's a reminder that it probably represents more a lack of choice than it does a choice on their part.
There's a statistic we use when we train. It's 5 times 5 times 5 equals 6,500. If a girl is violated 5 times a night for 5 days a week for 5 years, she will have been raped 6,500 times. How can you even put your mind around that? Because if a woman is raped once in her life, it's a life-changing event. but we're talking about thousands of rapes on one little girl.
You ready for this? We're the demand. We're the problem. It's not the girl. The girls are the victim. That's the stuff that needs to be dealt with. And men like me and men that exploit that on them are the ones that need to be prosecuted. She's a victim, man.
You know, the law can only do so much. We can criminalize it, we can prosecute it, but that won't be enough as long as there still really is a tremendous demand out there. I mean, at the end of the day, this is about moral education. It's about teaching men and young men that prostitution is not a victimless crime.